Good morning, class 8. Today I am going to teach you the remaining part of the chapter 2, that is microorganism. In the last class I told you about the algae and the bacteria. Now this is the third part of microorganism, that is fungi. Fungi are a large group of organisms. More than 1 lakh species of fungi are known. More than 1 lakh. You can just imagine about that. 1 lakh species are knowing. They do not have chlorophyll. While in algae, you have seen that this is the important characteristic of algae, that there is presence of chlorophyll, means there is presence of chloroplast as well as the cell wall. While in fungi, they do not have chlorophyll and do not photosynthesis. If the chlorophyll is not present, then how can photosynthesis will be possible? Some familiar fungi are mildew, molds, mushroom, rust, ismates and yeast. All fungi are made up of fine thread called hypha. This is the hypha from where all the fungi are attached to this. So fine threads called hypha, they occurs almost everywhere in nature. Fungi needs moist and warm condition to grow. For growing and development of fungi, this is required, this moisture and warm like environment. Most of the fungi are saprophytes. What is saprophytes? The saprophytes are that type of organism which live in dead and decaying place. So animals or substance जो भी होते हैं, they take their food from dead and decaying parts of the substance. So saprophytes, which feed on dead matter. Ringworm and athlete's foots are some of the human disease, and that are caused by the fungi are responsible for this type of disease. Whereas potato blight and rust of wheat are some of the plant disease. You have to learn at least 2 to 3 diseases of particular microbes, and as well as their examples or also. Now these are the structure of fungi. You can see. Now come on the protozoa. Protozoa means singular protozoans. Singular protozoans means to say that type of organism which are made up of only single cell. So protozoa are unicellular animals without chlorophyll. There is also chlorophyll is absent in fungi, chlorophyll absent, as well as in protozoa there is also chlorophyll are absent. Amoeba, Plasmodium, Entamoeba and Paramecium are the example of protozoa. While in fungi, the example of fungi are mushrooms, mildew, rust, ismates. These are the example of, you can see, these are the example of fungi. While protozoa, amoeba, Plasmodium, Entamoeba, Paramecium, these are also the example of protozoa. The size of protozoa range from 2 to 200 micron. Up tak we have studied about that type of microorganism in which the largest size are of algae, because algae has the range of 1 micron to several meters in length, while the size of bacteria is 0.2 to 100 micron. Bacteria 0.2 to 100 micron. Algae is from 1 micron to several meters, while in protozoa that is 2 to 200 microns. They live in water, soil and on decaying organic matter. Some protozoa move by changing their shape. Some move using cilia, while the other moving using flagella. I can tell you about them, that the amoeba, you have seen amoeba. Now in this paper I am just trying to understand you that flagella means in Paramecium you have seen that there is a flagella which help in the movement of water towards the Paramecium. So you can see here the Entamoeba and Paramecium are example of protozoa. The size of protozoa range this. They live in water, soil and on decaying organic matter. Some protozoa move by changing their shape. Some move using cilia, while the other move using flagella. Now come on the virus. Virus are some small, so small that they cannot be seen with an unaided eyes. You know that this virus is responsible, that we are just studying in our home, we are studying online due to presence of virus. So there is no requirement to explain that how much the virus is harmful or deadlyful for us, so that they cannot be seen with an unaided eyes. When viruses are magnified with the aid of an electron microscope, you see that these types of microorganisms which we can see with the help of microscope, while for magnified the virus we have to use electron microscope, that is more than 1 lakh times. They appear to have different shape. The size of virus range from 0.015 to 0.2 microns. They do not show most of the characteristic of the living things. This is the important point that I want to explain you, that they don't show the characteristic of living things. That is the reason always when there is corona epidemic is just capturing the large number of people, the government have to declare lockdown. Why? Because without contact, if there is no contact, then they cannot live. They do not show most of the characteristics of living things. Viruses are found inside the cell. They always live inside the cell of plant, animal and human being. They obtain their food from host. As soon as they reach in our body, in our particular organ, they reproducing and multiply only inside the cell of the other organism. That's the reason the government have to declare lockdown. Why? Because without contact, virus cannot spread. Viruses are the agent of disease. Common cold, influenza, measles, polio, chickenpox, smallpox and AIDS are some of the disease found in human being. Now come on where do microorganisms live? Microorganisms are found everywhere, thus they live in all types of habitat. They are found in air, soil and water bodies. Microorganisms can live and survive in almost all kinds of environment like spring, ice cold water and saline water. They are also found in desert and marshy land. You can say that they can live everywhere. They also occurs in dead and decomposed organic matter. They are also present inside the human body and that of other animals. Microorganisms also live as parasite on other living things. Okay. Now come on the microorganism and us. Most of the people thought that microorganisms are harmful and causes disease, but later on scientists proved that only a few of the microorganisms are harmful that causes disease, while most of them are beneficial to us. Thus we can classify microorganisms into two groups, that is friendly and harmful. They have two phases. The first type of microorganism have friendly microorganism. The second type are harmful. Now come on the friendly microorganism. Those microorganisms which are useful for us, they are friendly microorganisms, like they help in preparation of curd, bread and cake, production of alcohol, cleaning the environment by breaking down the waste into harmless and usable substance, preparation of medicines, increasing soil fertility by fixing nitrogen. I told you about that nitrogen fixation. They help in nitrogen fixation. Making of curd and bread. How it is happened? Curd contains several microorganisms such as lactobacillus bacterium. This is the example of bacteria. You can just learn this name, lactobacillus. Lactobacillus bacterium promote the formation of curd from milk. This particular bacteria play an important role in formation of curd from milk. When a little of pre-made curd is added to warm milk, The lactobacilli multiplies in milk and convert it into curd. The rennin is used in production of cheese. So you have to learn the name of these two types of bacteria, that lactobacillus help in formation of curd from milk, while the rennin it help in used in production of cheese. Yeast is used in the preparation of bakery product like bread, cake and food items. Idli, dosa and bhatura, these are also used in making these types of South Indian foods. When yeast is mixed in dough for making bread, the yeast reproduces and rapidly and give carbon dioxide gas during respiration. I will send you an experimental video related to this, that you can just by the animation you can, it will help you in study. The bubbles of carbon dioxide gas fill the dough and increase its volume. That is the reason the structure, the texture of cake or bread or idlis are spongy. Why? Because the bubbles of carbon dioxide gas fills the dough and increase its volume. This make the bread rise, and the hole in the bread are due to the bubbles of the gas given off. You can see the spongy texture of that particular food material, and there are holes are present from where the carbon dioxide has removed. This make the bread light, soft and spongy. Okay, now we will meet in the next class. Okay, bye bye.